Kentucky, this is Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, one of the officers involved in the killing of Breonna Taylor has been fired. Unemployment issues still plague the state, and we're joined by a couple of political analysts just days before the primary. All that and more is next on Hey Kentucky. Welcome to Hey Kentucky with LEX 18 Sports Director Keith Farmer. How are you, Keith?
I'm doing great because I have football back in my life, and I'm talking about Premier League soccer. Tottenham is playing its first game back since COVID-19. So happy for that.
Yeah, I literally don't even know what you're talking about. So let's let's move on. All right. People once again stood in line for hours in Frankfurt yesterday, hoping to finally receive their unemployment insurance some had been waiting for since March. Thankfully for some, once they made it to the front of the line, it only took minutes to solve their months-long problems. Governor Beshear is laying some of the blame on his predecessor, Matt Bevin. When asked about the continuing problems of people having to wait months to receive their jobless benefits, Beshear said he inherited a starved system. In 2017, the Bevin administration removed workers from unemployment insurance offices, moving 95 employees to other roles in state government. 22 of the office that could assist with unemployment claims closed. People are slowly getting back to work, though. Unemployment and jobless numbers for May showed drops from the previous months. The May unemployment rate was 11% down from April. Keith, it's good to see people back at work. It's tough for me to figure out why, if they only take a couple minutes to resolve the problems, why they hadn't been able to do it.
Yeah, that one's just mind-boggling that it has taken so long. I mean, they knew that this was coming and that there would be a lot of people without a job. And it just, I don't understand how they couldn't take care of this thing much faster, especially with all the people that they hired. At least we do have some good news with, the unemployment going down and people getting back to work.
Thank goodness. All right. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher announced today that one of the officers involved in the killing of Breonna Taylor has been fired. Brett Hankinson is accused by the department interim chief Robert Schroeder of blindly firing 10 rounds into Taylor's apartment, creating a substantial danger of death and serious injury. In a pre-termination letter that was shared with the media, Schroeder wrote in part to Hankinson, quote, "I find your conduct a shock to the conscience. I am alarmed and stunned you use deadly force in this fashion. The result of your actions seriously impedes the department's goal of providing the citizens of our city with the most professional law enforcement agency possible. I cannot tolerate this type of conduct by any member of the Louisville Metro Police Department," end quote. Hankinson has been recently accused by several women of sexual assault in recent weeks. Today's announcement comes after LMPD announcing a new policy for officers to intervene verbally or, if needed, physically if they see a colleague using excessive force during an arrest. And Keith, I personally am glad that some action has finally been taken, although I don't know why it has taken so long. If the interim chief could see that his actions were harmful, why couldn't anyone before?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were just trying to get all the details and be thorough and make sure they made the right decisions. I don't know. I do know that he did make the right decision on this call. I don't know if there will be charges come from it, but at least they have taken him out of his job. And also, I like the fact that they've come up and said, hey, if you see something, stand up to your fellow police officers, because if this had happened in the George Floyd case, he'd still be with us.
Yeah, that's a part of the change that's slowly coming, and I hope that officers will take that on.
Yes.
All right. During a press conference yesterday, Attorney General Daniel Cameron promised a thorough investigation into the conduct of the officers involved in that shooting of Breonna Taylor. He didn't give any new information, but would not give a timeline, but instead asked for patience as his office performs an independent investigation. Recently, Beyonce sent AG Cameron a letter asking for the officers involved to be charged. He said that will not help their investigation, but he understands the public's need for answers.
Whether it's a celebrity or a Kentuckian or any interested party, I take great care and concern in every letter that we receive and completely understand the interest that is surrounding this case. It doesn't matter who sends me a piece of mail. it won't have any bearing ultimately on the case. What our responsibility is to the facts and the law.
The Attorney General said his team's investigation is independent from the internal investigation that the LMPD is conducting. So I don't believe the two parties are going to be working together in this investigation, but ultimately it will be up to Daniel Cameron's office, I would imagine, to decide if charges will be filed.
I'm glad it has made its way to his desk and that he is taking this on and giving a little bit more oversight, looking into what happened. And we'll see. I feel like you're right. It might be better that the two sides don't work together so that, we know how one party feels and how the other party feels.
Even if it's just for the optics of it, I do think it's good to keep them separate. Right. Saturday is the first leg of the Triple Crown, and it's running for the first time ever. It's the Belmont Stakes, not our beloved Kentucky Derby. The race has been shortened from 1.5 miles to 1.1 1/8 miles, and will have $1 million purse. The favorite is 'Tis the Law in post 8 with 6-5 odds. Another horse with some serious buzz is Mark Cassie's Tap It to Win at 6-1. Keith, it feels weird that it's the Belmont first and it's short and all that, but I will definitely be watching.
Well, all right. So it is weird because it's not weird in some cases because it is in June, and Here we are in June. But at the same time, it shouldn't be the first leg. I mean, the Preakness fell in line, went behind the Derby. Belmont didn't, but yeah, this is really, 'Tis the Law's race to lose. And then you've got, like the horses you mentioned, but also Sole Volante, the second betting choice, is one to keep an eye on, and Pneumatic as well. One thing's for sure, you can watch it right here on LEX 18.
Yes, it's back. The Triple Crown races are back, at least. All right, now on Hey Kentucky. In case you missed it, a review of recent headlines. A federal judge ruled late last night that Kentucky's most populous counties will not have to have more than one polling location. Plaintiffs, led by State Representative Jason Nemes, will not file an appeal to avoid serious confusion on Election Day as people head to the polls. Also, it's Juneteenth. Yesterday, Governor Beshear signed a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth in Kentucky, a day that celebrates the day the last of the slaves were freed in Galveston, Texas. That's after the Civil War ended. Today, Representative Kevin Bratcher, a Republican from Louisville, announced he intends to file a bill to make it a permanent state holiday. Up next on Hey Kentucky, we focus on next week's primary election, specifically the U.S. Senate race. Political analyst Bob Babbage will talk about Charles Booker's late charge, and later Scott Jennings will give us the perspective from incumbent Mitch McConnell. Stay with us.